During our family vacation, they booked me a separate room. Hello everyone. Before we jump into today's story, I just want to ask for a quick favor. If you enjoy long, dramatic, real-life Reddit stories like this one, please consider subscribing to the channel. It's free, it helps the channel grow, and it allows us to keep bringing you stories you won't hear anywhere else. Thank you so much. Now, let's get into it. I always thought family vacations were supposed to bring people closer. That's what everyone says, right? Bonding, laughter, shared memories. For my family, though, vacations have always been less about connection and more about control. I just didn't realize how bad it had gotten until one trip finally snapped something inside me. For context, I'm the youngest in my family. I'm 30 now, financially independent, married, stable job, no drama. But in my parents' eyes, I've always been the difficult one. Not because I actually caused problems, but because I didn't blindly agree with everything they wanted. My older sister, Rachel, is the golden child. Married young, lives close to my parents, does exactly what they expect. My brother Tom is neutral territory. Not perfect, but agreeable enough. Me? I'm the one who moved away, married someone they didn't pick and stopped asking for permission. Still, I kept showing up. Holidays, birthdays, family trips. I told myself it was easier to go along than to rock the boat. That was my first mistake. The vacation in question was a week-long trip to a coastal resort. My parents pitched it as a family reconnect trip. All expenses split evenly, everyone included. Sounds fair, right? Well, about a week before the trip, my mom casually texted the group chat. "Rooms are booked, can't wait." I didn't think anything of it until Rachel messaged me privately. "Hey, just a heads up. You're not sharing the main suite with us." I asked what she meant. She hesitated, then said, "Mom and Dad thought it'd be better if you had your own space. For comfort." That word immediately made my stomach drop. Comfort. I asked her where my room was. She sent me a screenshot. Different building, across the property, smaller room. No ocean view, no balcony, no kitchenette. Everyone else, my parents, Rachel, her husband, and Tom, were sharing a massive 3-bedroom suite overlooking the beach. And I was booked alone, like an afterthought. I called my mom immediately. "Oh, honey," she said, overly sweet. "We just thought you'd like your privacy." Privacy? On a family vacation? I pointed out that we were all supposed to be staying together. That's what we agreed on. She sighed like I was exhausting her. "Well, the suite only had so much space, and Rachel has kids. And you're so independent anyway." Independent. That word again. Translation: you don't matter enough to inconvenience us. I should have backed out then. But I didn't. Because I was still trying to be the reasonable one, the flexible one, the don't make it awkward one. Second mistake. When we arrived, it was worse than I imagined. They all checked in together, laughed together, walked toward the main building together. Then my dad handed me my key card. "Oh yeah," he said casually, "your room's over there." He didn't even walk me to it. I dragged my suitcase across the property alone while watching my family disappear into their luxury suite. That night, I ate dinner alone. No one texted, no one asked if I'd made it in okay. When I finally messaged the group chat asking what the plan was for tomorrow, my mom replied hours later, "We'll figure it out in the morning." They didn't. The next few days followed the same pattern. Breakfast plans made without me. Beach outings I found out about from Instagram stories. Dinners where I was invited last minute, only after everything was already decided. I wasn't part of the vacation. I was nearby. The final straw came on day 4. They planned a boat excursion. Everyone was excited. I found out because Rachel's husband accidentally mentioned it at dinner the night before. "Oh, didn't anyone tell you?" he said awkwardly. No, no one had. I asked my parents why I wasn't included. My mom looked offended. "Well, we assumed you wouldn't want to go. You don't really like group activities." That wasn't true. It had never been true. It was just convenient for them to believe. Something in me snapped. I realized this wasn't an accident. This wasn't poor planning. This was intentional. They had slowly been pushing me out for years, and this trip was just the clearest example yet. So I stopped trying. The next morning, while they were off on their boat trip, I packed my things. But I didn't leave the resort. Instead, I upgraded. I went to the front desk and booked myself a beachfront suite. Ocean view, private balcony, room service included. I used my own money, no group discounts, no family involvement. Then I posted a single photo on social media. Just the ocean view. Caption: sometimes peace is worth the upgrade. They noticed. Within an hour, my phone started blowing up. Where are you? Why aren't you answering? What do you mean you changed rooms? I ignored them. That evening, I went to the resort restaurant alone. Ordered a great meal, had dessert, took my time. When I finally returned their calls, my mom was furious. How could you just disappear like that? She demanded. We were worried, I laughed. Actually laughed. You booked me in another building, I said calmly. You didn't include me in plans. You didn't even tell me about the boat trip. I didn't disappear. You just didn't notice. Silence. My dad jumped in. You're overreacting. This was supposed to be a family trip. Exactly, I replied. And you made it clear I wasn't part of it. That's when the excuses started. They said I was being sensitive, dramatic, difficult, that I always had a way of making things about me. For once, I didn't back down. No, I said. I'm done pretending this is normal. You treat me like an outsider, then act shocked when I stop playing along. Rachel tried to smooth things over. Let's not ruin the vacation, I answered honestly. You already did, I just stopped pretending it was fine. The rest of the trip was awkward. They tried inviting me to things again, but it felt forced, performative, like they were checking a box. I declined most of it. I spent my time swimming, reading, relaxing, actually enjoying myself for the first time all week. When we flew home, things were quiet. A few days later, my mom called. She tried to frame it as concern. We just don't understand why you pulled away. I finally said what I'd been holding back for years. You don't treat me like family. You treat me like an inconvenience. And I'm done shrinking myself to make you comfortable. She cried. Said she never meant it that way. Said she was just trying to keep the peace. I told her peace at someone else's expense isn't peace. Since then, things have changed. Not perfectly, not overnight. But I stopped overextending. I stopped chasing invitations. I stopped apologizing for existing. And oddly enough, that's when they started trying harder. Sometimes it takes walking away, or upgrading your room, for people to realize they were taking you for granted. Thanks for listening. And if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notifications for more long, real-life Reddit stories just like this one.